Thanks for joining us here on Ark Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schnee. It is Wednesday, July 16th. It's Wednesday, so we have multiple Utah missing cases for you right now, starting with a 4-year-old cold case.
You know, I know there's people out there that know what happened to her, and like my family needs those answers.
It's been 4 years and 1 day since Candace Harris was last seen. She was 16 years old at the time she left the Odyssey House Treatment Center right here in Salt Lake City. Now, that was Candace's aunt, who tells me she believes there are people out there who know exactly where to find her niece. I asked her about carrying the weight of leading the charge to get answers for her family 4 years later. It has been 4 years and 1 day.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when there's an anniversary and still no resolution at this point, and knowing where Candace is?
It's so hard for our family. It's usually like the week before and the week of just gets really hard. I know her brother like went and sat at the canyon for 4 hours yesterday thinking of her, and it's just hard, you know, as time passes, things change, the kids grow. Candace was always a really good cousin, loved all her cousins, and it's so hard, you know, as they get older and wonder if she'll ever come home. We wonder if she'll ever come home. It's just devastating. Especially the holidays are hard, you know. You have that empty seat, empty stocking. Sometimes my mom will wonder, should I put something in there in case she comes home? But it's one of those things you hope will happen. But if she doesn't come home, we just hope we get answers and she comes home no matter what the circumstances are.
How hard is it to go each day without any real answer or any real indication or any communication, to just be waiting?
It's so hard. It's the hardest thing for any family to go through. Usually when you lose a loved one, you have closure. So you always have grief, but you can heal because you have the closure, right? That they're gone and you have to heal from it. With our family, we all try to heal, but we can't, because once we think, oh, maybe she's, you know, not here with us anymore, maybe she's at peace. So you try to make peace with it the best you can, but then you wonder in the back of your mind, well, maybe she's out there somewhere, right? Maybe somebody has her, she can't break free, so we got to keep looking, like, hard physically. It's just emotionally draining every day. Every day I think of her, like in the morning before I go to bed. It's just agonizing pain.
Relationship like with them? Do they provide updates? Do they give you anything that says we're still working really hard on this these many years later?
They do give me updates. Obviously, it's not like what I would like. The detective working her case always answers my calls, my emails, everything, and I appreciate that. He looks into everything I send. He does, to this day, he still has done some interviews. They're very limited on what they could tell me. I know there's a couple people out there. Typically everyone he's questioned have had lie detectors tests. There is some that has failed. I'm not able to exactly know who. I have a pretty good idea. So what that tells me is there's some people out there that know where she is, right? When you're asked questions like that on a polygraph test, specific questions of where she is, and you fail, that tells me that you know something that we don't, and we need those answers. And we are relying on those people to tell us where she is. I wish they would know that if they would tell us, it would be a lot easier now to come clean versus if an innocent bystander has to bring that closure to my family, because that's more trauma that you're putting on somebody else that doesn't need to be involved.
So often we hear of some individual who's been found, remains that have been found.
Mhm.
I know you've been asked this question too, but when you hear about that, Do you quickly jump to the hope that that is Candace, or are you more reserved now that time has gone on if someone is located?
When we do see those, we do jump because if I'm being honest, with the information that we do have, I can't speak, say, 100%, but I think that's the circumstances of where we are today. So when I do see that, yeah, we do jump because there's a possibility it could be her, and then you hear, oh, the remains are older, so then it's like, oh, maybe we're getting closer, and then you hear, oh, it's not her, it's somebody else. And so you're like, oh, now I'm back to square one again. And then the grief and everything starts over again, right? Like, okay, we're back to square one again. What if she's out there? That wasn't her. It's a lot of things. My family's had to go through therapy to try to handle this type of grief, and all the stages. There's stages of grief that you normally go through, but without closure, the stages are a lot different. You typically go through those stages over and over and over. So it's very hard when you see those kind of things on TV, that you would want that to be your loved one, right? Nobody wants that kind of outcome, but at the same time, you're just longing for those answers and peace, so it can all just come to an end because it's just so antagonizing every day, of the pain. So you just want it to end and have those answers.
I know.
I know there's people out there that know what happened to her, and like my family needs those answers. Every day we have to deal with this, and I know it bothers them too. If you have any type of soul, it would bother you to know, but you need to tell us where she's at because it'll bring you peace too, to tell us where to find her.
Well, Candace was last known to be in Tooele after she left the Salt Lake City facility. Keep in mind, this was 4 years ago, July 15th, 2021. She was on social media briefly after she left the Odyssey house. Her family holds hope that she may still be out there, may still be alive, but you also heard the family talk about what the other scenario would look like. A reward still being offered for information. Salt Lake City is investigating the case, which is now considered cold. If you have any information on Candace but would like to remain anonymous, you can use their text-to-tip service. Text the information to the number you see right there on your screen, 274-637, and doing so will not reveal your identity to police, but it could be very helpful. The search for 42-year-old Chad Biringham is now open to public crews after police tracking dogs were unable to locate him. He was last seen at a campsite near Jacob City in the Soldier Canyon area in Tooele County Monday morning. He was reported missing after failing to return to his site in Soldier Canyon. For a photo of Chad, I posted a picture on my Facebook page earlier if you'd like to get a look at what Chad looks like and what he may be wearing for a description. And just after noon, search and rescue teams, deputies, and specialized units searched for Biringham over the past 3 days using drones, tracking dogs, a helicopter, and an airplane. Police initially asked the public to stay out of the area to avoid disrupting the official search operations and possible evidence. But because the tracking dog teams could not find his scent, they are ready for the public's help. If anyone comes across evidence or clues, officials say do not touch what you find. Instead, call the Tooele County Sheriff's Office using the number you see on your screen, 435-882-5600. And out of West Valley, 18-year-old Julian Francis Kawet has been missing since June 19th, meaning has not been seen or heard from for nearly a month now, 27 days. Sadly, the only photo we have of him, it's from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. According to the posting on NCMEC, if you see Julian, you should not approach him. Simply contact law enforcement. We recently learned that Julian was previously housed in a juvenile receiving center, a place for police officers to drop off arrested, delinquent, ungovernable, or runaway youth who do not meet admission guidelines for secure detention. Well, if you know anything about the whereabouts of Julian, contact the West Valley City Police, 801-840-4000. And if you are looking for Julian, we would like to help in the search. You can always use the 2 News text-to-tip line you see on your screen or reach out to me directly on social media. The search for Kylie Ariano continues. It's now been 48 days since she was last seen walking towards Logan Canyon with a suitcase in tow. I spoke to her mother, Stephanie, earlier today, who expressed frustration with the lack of leads and any information. She told me it feels like her daughter just disappeared into thin air. The last real update on the case was over 2 weeks ago when Salt Lake police received a tip that she may have been seen downtown. Road Warriors for the Missing organized a search of that area that same weekend. Unfortunately, after being shown surveillance footage correlated with the tip, Stephanie, who is Kylie's mother, confirmed the person seen was not her daughter. So a reminder to keep an eye out. Kylie wears a lot of dark clothing, is known to color her hair. The last time she was seen, she had chin-length brown hair, black braces, and tattoos. Her family told me a while back there could be a Pocatello, Idaho connection there. So if you know anyone in that area and can share the word with them, we would appreciate it. Anyone with information on Kylie's whereabouts should call the Rich County Sheriff's Office. That is at 435-793-2285, referencing the case number you see on your screen, which is 25R308. For continued coverage on Utah's missing cases, join us Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, right here on Ark Salt Lake. We are dedicated to helping Utahns find some answers, find some closure for you and your families. And like always, you can reach out on social media. Many of you have, even with some tips. Please keep doing it. And be sure to send me a message if you have a case you would like us to look into. Coming up on Ark Salt Lake, missing persons not excluded to Utah tonight. Just nationwide devastation with 140 people still missing thanks to the Texas floods, something that's just rocked our country. We'll hear the latest on the search and rescue efforts. As focused as we are on Utah's missing, we cannot ignore the dozens of people unaccounted for despite multiple search efforts over the last week in central Texas. More rain and the threat of flash flooding has stalled search crews who are hoping to give the families of the victims some closure. National correspondent Bradley Blackburn has more on where the searches stand.
Little more than a week after deadly floods hit central Texas, a slow-moving storm dumped even more rain there over the weekend. It pushed rivers past their limits. Residents rushed out of the way.
Just kind of like, oh, here it comes again.
And search crews were forced to stand down.
We'll probably end up not being able to do anything today and just try to get back at it in the morning.
More than 12,000 volunteers have now arrived to help with reconstruction and recovery. While at least 132 fatalities have been confirmed, more than 160 people are still missing. All across the state, green ribbons tied to trees honor the victims. And in Kerrville, flower shops are promising free arrangements for funerals.
Every single person in this community is helping out in the flood relief in some way.
On Face the Nation Sunday, Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell called for close scrutiny of federal weather forecasting.
We as a nation shouldn't be second to Europe or anybody in being a weather-ready nation. We should be the smartest government in the world using technology, analyzing the data, and putting a forecast system into place.
And in Texas, they are mourning and healing. In Houston, hundreds stood along a procession for 12-year-old Shiloh Wilson, who was swept away from a campground with his parents.
It just breaks my heart that you just don't have a chance to say goodbye.
So many goodbyes as a long recovery begins. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, if you feel passionate about helping those in Texas, the Utah chapter of American Red Cross has opportunities for you.
It's an emotionally taxing job to do, but that's what American Red Cross volunteers are there for. It's pretty amazing.
The American Red Cross responds to an average of 65,000 emergencies every year. You will be provided with all the training you need to become the shelter during someone's storm. Meteorologist Chase Thomason here now with our first alert forecast.
Not sure if you noticed, but we had a slight cool down here in northern Utah. Temperatures only dropped about 5 degrees, but at least we are seeing a bit of an improvement. That front, though, is sparking off a few showers and thunderstorms, though, in central and eastern Utah. For tonight, northern and far southwestern Utah will stay dry. But things begin to change, though, as we wrap up the work week and head into the weekend. We're hoping for that monsoon moisture to really move in and bring us a better chance for some wetting rainfall. High pressure is getting closer to the Four Corners. There's also a little weak storm off the coast of the Baja in southern California that's going to inch our way as well. But you get counterclockwise rotation around a low, you get clockwise around a high, so it's going to grab some of that tropical moisture and lift it into the desert southwest, and then eventually maybe even northern Utah by the end of the week. So a few storms possible for this evening in central and eastern Utah. For tonight, though, most of the I-15 corridor will be pretty quiet. There might be some gusty winds at times near some of these spotty showers, so just keep that in mind, especially across eastern Utah tonight. A few sprinkles possible in the morning, but we'll be waking up to sunny skies from Logan down to St. George. A little bit of that moisture, though, begins to move in. Storms will go up likely near and over the mountains of central and southern Utah. There might even be a couple along the Wasatch Front. The best chance will be the southern end of the Wasatch Front down in Utah County. And maybe a few storms for our friends down in St. George. Definitely would like to see some rainfall for you. This rain, though, will continue in the afternoon and evening. And then that moisture continues to lift northward by Friday into portions of northern Utah. This is excessive rainfall outlook. Potential for flash flooding. It's not a high risk, but it is a marginal risk on Friday and again on Saturday across the same areas. By Sunday, though, some drier air begins to move in, and at least that risk for flash flooding goes away, shifts into Colorado by the end of the weekend. Temperatures right now low to mid 90s. Again, it is hot, but yesterday we were flirting with 100 degrees here in Salt Lake. Tonight, lows in the upper 60s and low 70s for most of the Wasatch Front. We'll see 50s and 60s in eastern and central Utah. More of the cloud cover stays across the southeast. Tomorrow, still going to be a pretty hot day here along the Wasatch Front because we don't have a ton of moisture quite yet, but you might feel the humidity down in southern Utah, a little bit more rain and some cloud cover. And notice St. George 95 will be cooler than Salt Lake at 97 degrees. That doesn't happen very often. 88 in Cedar City, 82 in Kanab, and we'll see temperatures in the 80s and 90s across eastern Utah. But of course, if you're lucky and you get a little bit of rain, that could drop the temperature by 10 to 20 degrees, that rain-cooled air. So it's not a guarantee, but we'll have scattered showers and storms Thursday and Friday in St. George, isolated storms on Saturday, temperatures in the 90s, that's below normal, and then sunny weather by Sunday and into early next week with highs near 100 degrees, overnight lows in the mid-70s. Salt Lake, 71 for tonight. We're at 97 tomorrow, 95 on Friday. Friday's probably our best chance to see a shower or a thunderstorm. Stray storm on Saturday, 92 is our coolest day, and then we'll stay in the mid-90s early next week.
Coming up on Ark Salt Lake, they're even smarter than we think. What scientists are saying about the latest study of dolphin skincare routines. I don't know if you know anything about dolphins, but apparently they're showing us that they are smarter than we all think. Dozens of bottlenose dolphins in Australia's waters are donning sponges on their snouts to protect their sensitive skin as they dig through rough sand and sharp rocks on the seabed to uncover hidden fish. Now, once they've scared up a fish, they will drop the sponge off the front of their face, go after the fish, grab it and pick it up, that sponge again. Now, scientists are studying how sponging affects dolphins' echolocation. From dolphins to the mammoth. This one, I don't know. This is different. The Utah Mammoth releasing the team's schedule for the upcoming season. The first regular season game, October 9th against the Avalanche. Utah's first home game is October 15th against the Calgary Flames. February, there's a 2-week break so the players can take part in the Winter Olympics. The season ends April 16th at the Delta Center against the St. Louis Blues, who just got so hot at the end of the year. Would love to see things change. You can see the whole schedule on our website right now, KUTV.com. Thanks for watching tonight. We're back tomorrow at 7. Take care.